Hey, what's up everybody? Frank Valkyria. Welcome to the channel. Today we're talking about a legend. Unfortunately, Eddie Van Halen passed away. The legendary god, guitar player, one of the few. I mean, if you're a guitar player, if you're a musician, you know what I'm talking about. Most likely, the all-American sound of the glam rock can be traced back to Van Halen. I mean, they really created that incredible sound. They literally invented a style. Van Halen invented a style with the tapping. I mean, David Lee Roth, what a frontman. I was never fortunate to see them live. I wish I had, truly. I mean, back in the days, I was a kid. I mean, in the early 80s, I was just like 7 or 8, so I wasn't able to go anywhere. I wish I had just seen it also later on in life, in whatever shape or form, or formation. I don't care. What a legendary name. What a legendary band. A lot of you asked me yesterday night when it happened on Instagram to do a little video tribute. And of course, here we are. I mean, like many musicians, I love their music. I grew up listening their songs. I was fortunate to see David Lee Roth here in the Paradiso in '99 when I came back from the US. Actually, my good friend Jack from San Jose came with me. I lived in San Jose for a while at the time. So we came back, David Lee Roth was playing here, bam, we went, and we had a blast. Still then, even in '99, we had a lot of fun. I would have really loved to see Eddie Van Halen live performance. I mean, if anybody is picking up a guitar right now or has picked up a guitar in any place in time, I mean, sooner or later you're gonna try to do a little bit of tapping on the neck of the guitar style that he invented. So just to name one thing that of course everybody knows, but still, I mean, that's how great, that's how big, that's how relevant the band and his contribution to music is. I mean, wow, where do we start? Eruption, like probably one of the, I don't know if it in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame it's one of, I don't know exactly the number, the placing, but probably up there, maybe top 10 or something. So that's how crazy relevant those musicians, this guy is. And it's unfortunate that he passed away so young, at 65, lost his battle to cancer. I was reading that he already had, back in the days in 2000, he had a surgery to remove part of his tongue, and then later on came back. It's so sad. Obviously, there is also another component I wanted to add to this little tribute, which is, of course, those guys, the craziest life. I mean, I can only imagine the type of wild life they have had back in their peak. I mean, wow. I mean, if we see some videos, obviously, of Eddie and David Lee Roth, all band jumping around, crazy wild performances, and you also, of course, are thinking, yes, there is substances in use there. And as I was reading, of course, you see that Van Halen has gone through also a lot of difficulties in terms of abuses and addiction, and trying to sober up and clean up, his act. It's also sad because it seems like those things, they go hand in hand. This extreme life of success in a peculiar period of your youth, with that energy, that has to manifest into something. And a lot of times that incredible talent, to keep it at that level, to keep that type of absurd life, you also need to counterbalance perhaps with, I don't know, abuse or whatever. And that part, it's actually sad to me, because I wish it was possible to have that level of wild life, but without indulging too much into self-destruction that perhaps later on might lead to whatever. I was reading a fact about him attributing the tongue cancer to the fact that he always held the pick, which were made of copper or other metal, under his tongue, always in the same spot, At least that's his explanation to it. Whether or not it's true, that's what he said. And of course, there is also other factor that can be attributed to the outcome of the illness. It's really sad. Sometimes I also wish that us as society, we will find a way and a moment to focus our energy and intentions to discover, rediscover, to understand the mystery of physics, like molecular chemistry, whatever, that it's unknown to us, and just being able to control such things, such diseases, and just debel them, just eradicate them for good. But here we are, just celebrating a man's career and music, what he left behind, which is just anybody that is discovering, anybody that is coming of age and it's going through the greatest names. Boom, here we go. You end up, you go, I don't know, from Led Zeppelin to Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, Van Halen, whatever name, it's there. Those are the legendary names that we have had the pleasure to see, both in the shape of videos or cassettes or vinyl, whatever. We are so fortunate we live in this time that we can enjoy going back in time through videos and see so many live performances of those great names. We're so lucky. I mean, I can only imagine how it could feel to actually see one of the classic players on video, that unfortunately we can't. Likely we have the writings and other people can perform the music, but we will never see how it would feel to see the actual writer of that tune. In this case, we have the possibility of doing so, and I think it's just fantastic. I also learned another things about Van Halen, which is that little cameo that you see like in Back to the Future. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. I'm just going to show you for the sake of, the story here. Where Marty shows to his father Edward Van Halen. Wow. I love it. I just learned that actually this is really a recording that he made in purpose for the movie. I thought always that perhaps it was part of a live show or something that I didn't know, but in fact it's a real recording that he did specifically for Back to the Future, and I didn't need another reason to love Back to the Future more. Now I have another one. So we're also approaching the season of Back to the Future, the 25th of October, if you know what I'm talking about. And again, we're just so lucky that this music is here. I feel sad that a young man has passed away. Doesn't matter, it's, famous or not famous. 65 is still such a young age. So I really look forward to whatever generation that will benefit from the knowledge that we've discovered, to whether postpone that encounter with, the final ending and be healthier in the meanwhile. So before that, let's keep sharing the music. Let's keep loving. Let's keep rediscovering and discovering. If you don't know Van Halen, come on, go right now on whatever channel you have available and start to indulge in some of the greatest rock and roll ever. So guys, thank you so much for requesting this. Of course, I love Van Halen. I grew up with the rock and roll. I love rock music, all the greatest bands which they have been part of my growing up, like all of you out there, I suppose. And this is the power of music that becomes part of your growth. It really becomes a friend. And I can only thank all the great musicians and artists which they inspire us to do our little part, whether in singing, creating, writing, whatever it's your field, but still like truly inspiring us to try to add our little input into the artistic sphere, you know, of our collective consciousness, what we can leave behind. So thank you so much, Eddie. Rest in peace. You guys, see you later.